So you'll go ahead and bring up the solicitation. You'll scroll to the bottom and you'll click amend. And I do want to be clear the difference between the editing and amending. So when you're editing, it's before it's actually released. And amending would be after it's released and you need to amend the solicitation. So you would click amend, you would come in here, and then you must enter a reason for the amendment. It should be clear what the amendment is for. If you're updating the dates, then make sure you change all the applicable dates. Don't just write the new date in the comments. So for example, this one, I'm going to extend the offer due date to February 9th. So I have to make sure that I come down to where the offer due date is, and then I select the new date. If you're adding an attachment, be sure to add amendment 1 to the attachment so it's clear what the file is associated, that the file is associated with this amendment. So for example, come down here. So now I have amendment 1 and then the file. You can change any field except for the method of procurement, as we mentioned earlier. And then at the bottom, you can see that you could save the amendment as a draft. You can cancel the amendment. If you cancel this amendment, then the previous version will be the one that is visible to everybody. When you're ready, then you would release the amendment. If your amendment is on approval path and you notice that there is a mistake that you need to fix, the approver will need to reject the solicitation. It will come back to you so you can edit it and then resubmit on approval path. If you need to change anything and it's on approval path, when you go to the solicitation, the only option you're going to see at the bottom is cancel. That literally cancels the whole solicitation. It doesn't just cancel the amendment. So do not press cancel in that situation. Instead, you would contact your approver, have them reject it, so it will come back to you so you can edit it. When amending solicitations, there are a few emails that are associated. The buyer will receive an email notification when an addendum is submitted for approval, when an addendum releases in 24 hours and the approver hasn't approved yet, when the first approver approves, if there are multiple approvers, when an addendum is approved and released, and when an addendum is rejected. The vendor will receive an email notification when a solicitation is amended. And the approver will receive an email notification when the solicitation is amended and requires approval. Are there any questions about amending solicitations?
Hi, Megan. I do have a question. If an amendment is made after the award, should it be posted as a solicitation amendment?
So you won't be able to amend a solicitation if you've already awarded the solicitation. So once the solicitation is closed, then you would award it. And when the solicitation is closed, you can no longer amend the solicitation. You can amend the award to the solicitation.
Bonnie, I have a question for you. I have a situation where a vendor was awarded a solicitation, but by the time we received the products and ready to make payment, their HCE expired and they have not renewed it yet. Do we hold payment until they renew their HCE?
Okay, the law requires that there's at least two times that they have to be compliant upon award and upon final payment. So if they are not compliant, when the time you are ready to pay them, you will have to hold off until they become compliant.
That's all for now. Thank you.
Okay, so the next thing we're going to go over are questions and answers. I'm going to go ahead and log out, and I'm going to log in as a vendor. So you can see what the vendor sees whenever they go to submit a question on a solicitation. So they would go to the solicitation and they would go to the questions and answers tab. Oh, did I already end it? Oh, okay. Sorry, guys, this one already ended. Let's see, is the publish due date isn't gone yet. So I'll log in. So typically there'll be a box here where they can enter in any text and then they would click submit. And that's it. That's all that the vendor sees. And they would only ever see, you can see that I already submitted a question. So they will only see their questions as of right now until all the answers and the questions and answers are published. And that's not until the 2nd. So I'll go ahead and log in as a buyer. So then you can see all of the questions. So you can see here, I did get a question here from this vendor. You can see who the vendor is. If you want to, you would just click on this to view the vendor. You can also edit their question. If the vendor put any reference to their name in the question, then you'll want to make sure to edit it and then remove their name from the question. If you want to add a question, then you can add it here. Ask. And then it will show up here. You can see if it's submitted by a vendor, it'll say view vendor, but if there are ones that you as the buyer added, then you won't see that. So you'll know that number 2 and number 3 are ones that I added as a buyer. Then I can go in and type in these fields any of the answers. So I can type in whatever the answers are to each of these, and then I could say save and publish on the due date. So I can go in and actually enter the answers in at any time, and then the vendors won't actually see the questions or answers until the answer publish date has passed. So save. And I would be able to still edit my answers anytime before the answer publish date. Couple other things. So if you need to do a Q&A extension, you can extend the question due date, but it must be before the question due date and time. And you can extend the answer due date, but it must be before the answer due date and time. So for example, if it was coming up on the question due date and you wanted to give it more time, then you would amend this solicitation and then you could edit this field and extend the question due date. Same thing with the answer published date. You would amend and then be able to extend that date if needed. Now, if you get through this round, you are allowed to have multiple rounds of questions and answers. So if you get through this one and you want to conduct another one, then you would just do an amendment and then do a second round. The amendment is good because it will allow the vendor to get a notification that a new round is going to be conducted. There are a few emails associated with questions and answers. Buyers will receive an email when questions have closed and when answers are due within 24 hours. Vendors will receive an email when the answers have been posted. Are there any questions about questions and answers?
Hi, Megan. I have a question. It's not to do with questions and answers. It's on vendor attachments. I don't know if you're going to cover this or if you've kind of skipped over this, but if I exit out of the offer, I notice that if I go back to the offer, the vendor's attachments have sorted into a different order. Can this be corrected?
The vendor's attachments.
Yeah, so if a vendor attaches something, I guess if they go out of the offer and go back in, it's sorted into a different offer. Can that be corrected, or the way it is the way it is?
So I guess I'm confused. So you're going in as a buyer, you're going to the offers tab, you're viewing the vendor's offer, and the attachments are displaying in a different order. Am I understanding that correctly?
I believe so.
Okay. I mean, I can certainly look into that.
Okay, I'll make sure to take a note of that. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move on. The next item that we're going to go over is putting a solicitation on hold. You can only place a released solicitation on hold. You would go to the solicitation, you would scroll to the bottom, and you would click place on hold. Only the buyer of the solicitation can put the solicitation on hold. Once they do, the status will say placed on hold. One reason you may put a solicitation on hold is if there's a protest. If you put a solicitation on hold, the public and vendors can no longer see the solicitation. The people or the users that can see the solicitation are department admins, requesters, buyers, and then the owner of the solicitation. When you click take off hold, the system will ask you if you want to amend the solicitation. If you select yes, then you can do the amendment before it's taken off hold. So right now, if I click take off hold, it'll ask me, do you want to amend? If I say yes, then it would allow me to do an amendment. And then that way, before it's actually visible to the public and vendors again, it would already have your amended information in there. So, for example, if you wanted the offer, if the offer due date and time passed while it was on hold, then you would want to do this amendment, and then you would want to adjust the offer due date and time before it is taken off hold. If you're not going to take the solicitation off hold, if you're not going to take the solicitation off hold, then be sure you remember to cancel the solicitation. That's it for putting a solicitation on hold. Are there any questions on that?
Megan, I have a question. If an amended answer due date extends beyond the solicitation due date, does the system auto notify you to push back the solicitation date?
No.
Will it allow you to do the amended answers if it's beyond the solicitation due date, or will it push back for you to post the answers prior to the closing?
Oh, I'm sorry. We're talking about questions and answers?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, sorry. So say the question again.
If an amended answer due date extends beyond the solicitation due date, does the system auto notify you to push back the solicitation date?
Yeah, it won't allow you to enter a date if it's past when the solicitation closes. Yeah, it won't allow you to do that. So it'll say the question or the answer due date or the question due date must be before the solicitation closes or the offer due date. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so next I'm going to go into canceling a line item. So there are two ways in which you would cancel a line item. Canceling a line item before the solicitation is closed, and canceling a line item after the solicitation is closed. So the first one I'm going to show you is canceling a line item before the solicitation has closed. So you would go to the solicitation, you would click amend, and then you would put the reason for amendment. You would go to the line item and you would click remove. And that's it for if the solicitation hasn't closed yet. If the solicitation is closed and you want to cancel a line item, then you'd go to the solicitation. You go to the line items, and then you would click cancel on the line item that you want to cancel. You will need to enter a reason for canceling it. And just note that when you cancel it, you cannot award that line item because now it is canceled. And you are able to cancel the line item even if there are offers. There are a few emails associated with canceling line items. The buyer will receive an email when the buyer cancels a line item, and the vendor will receive an email when the buyer cancels a line item that the vendor has responded to. Are there any questions about canceling a line item?
Hi, Megan. I have another question. It's not about the line items. It's about the questions again.
Okay.
When you amend the question and answer due date, will the approver have to re-sign again or approve again?
Yes, anytime that you do an amendment, if you have an approver, it will go on approval path.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to go over is the Baffle process. To do a best and final offer, also known as a BAFO, the method of procurement must be a request for proposal, RFP. There are no BAFOs for RFQ or IFB. The status of the solicitation needs to be closed, but not awarded. And you must be the buyer of the solicitation in order to do a BAFO. So you'll go to the solicitation. You'll scroll to the bottom and you'll click BAFO. You'll go to the Offers tab. And then you'll select which vendors you want to include in the BAFO. A BAFO is an amendment, so if there are other changes that are needed to the solicitation, for example, if you have any text changes or you need to add attachments, then you can make those changes now. And when you're ready, you'll click release. The vendors selected for the BAFO will receive a system-generated email notifying them of the BAFO. Then the vendors can edit their response and resubmit. There are a few emails. One I did already mention, but the buyer will receive an email when the buyer issues a BAFO, when a BAFO releases in 24 hours and the approver has yet to approve. The vendor will receive an email when a BAFO is issued and they were selected. And they will also receive an email if the vendor only saved their response as a draft and the BAFO closes in 24 hours. They will receive this email on Friday prior if it closes on a Monday. Are there any questions about BAFO?
No questions at this time.
Okay.
Megan, let's hold off on questions. We have only about 30 minutes left. And so we can hold off the questions at the end if we have more time.
Got it. Okay, I'll go ahead and move on to the next. So next we're going to go into canceling a solicitation. So you'll go to the solicitation. You'll scroll to the bottom, you'll click cancel solicitation. You must enter a cancellation reason. You also have the ability to add an attachment before canceling. All the attachments on the canceled solicitation will be visible to all the users except for the public. If you cancel the solicitation, then you cannot award it. If you cancel a solicitation that you have already awarded, then it will cancel all the awards and it will cancel the solicitation. Okay. There are a few emails. The buyer will receive an email when an open solicitation is canceled and when a closed solicitation is canceled. Same thing for the vendor. The vendor will receive an email when an open solicitation is canceled. This email will be sent to all vendors that submitted an offer. They will also receive an email when a closed solicitation is canceled, and that will be sent to all the vendors that submitted an offer. Next, we're going to go into creating an award. We're going to go into the closed solicitation. We'll go to the offers tab. I'm going to go over each of these columns for you. The first one, this is the vendor's name. This is their current compliance status with HCE. If they're not compliant, then you can check with the vendor to see if the vendor can provide paper documentation. If time permits, then you can allow the vendor enough time to get those documents to you. Remember that vendors must be compliant upon award. The price column, this is the total amount the vendor offered for this solicitation. The offer amounts are visible to all vendors after the offer due date and time passes for RFQs and IFBs. Offers for RFPs are only visible to the agency, and vendors cannot see other vendors' offers on RFPs. So if there are multiple line items, this price here will show the total that this vendor offered for all the line items. The date and time is the date and time they submitted the offer. The award column, this is where you would go to create an award for this specific vendor. The details, this displays the details of the vendor's offer. So you can go in here and then you could click the details on each line item to see what their offer is. If they had any attached files, anything like that, you can view in here. The attachments here, these are the attachments that the vendor submitted. You can make the attachments public. If you check this box, then these attachments would show to other vendors and to the public. Normally we don't do this, but if you choose to, then be sure that all personal information is redacted from the attachments. And then this column shows you what version of the solicitation that the vendor submitted an offer for. If you did an amendment and the vendor did not edit their offer based on your amendment, then that is on the vendor. They will receive an email notification of an amendment and they have the ability to edit their offer. So if they didn't do that, then that is on them. Now I'm going to go into creating an award. Going to do it for this vendor. You will get a notification like this if they are not compliant in HCE. And so you have the option to send the email, or you can continue to the award. I'm just going to go ahead and continue. It will automatically populate with the title and description you used for the solicitation. It will automatically populate today's date for the date of notice of award. This could be a future date if you want it to be. You can enter a contract number in here, and then you would select the basis for award. If you select adequate competition. That you would select this if there are 2 or more acceptable offers received. Price analysis should be selected if there was only 1 acceptable offer and you have determined that the price is fair and reasonable. The competition comments may be used for internal comments, and those are not viewable to the vendors or the public. General comments are visible to users, other users, and the public. Internal comments are not visible to vendors or the public. You could adjust the start and end date of the contract here. If the contact person is you, then you could put same as buyer. If not, then you could fill in the fields of who the contact person is. Now down at the bottom, you'll see the line items listed. So there's several here, 3. And so you're going to select the line item that you want to award to this vendor. So for this vendor, I'm only going to award him the first line item. If the vendor entered the price incorrectly, but the correct information is in the supported attached documents that were submitted, then you may be able to change the prices on the award as you are creating it. If the vendor did not include the correct information in the documents, then you should not change the price here. But it is an editable field. So if you needed to update the price based off of their documentation, then you can do that. For the instructions, there are some mandatory instructions on awards that we have up here. There is an optional instruction list. We don't have any at the moment, but just like with the solicitations, if there were some, then you could just click add and it would add it. Or you can do a create your own instruction if needed. This is important because you can add any special instructions here that the vendors may need to know before starting the job. Okay, and then you would click, you could save for later, but we're going to go ahead and submit. And then you can see that the award was created. You can create multiple awards. So for example, if I wanted to go into the solicitation, I now have already awarded line item 1. If I want to award line item 2 to a different vendor, then I could come in and I could go to that vendor, click create, and then just select line item 2. And then you can just keep doing this. So for example, if you had 5 line items, then you can award each line item 5 different vendors. Alternatively, you can also award 1 line item to multiple vendors. So even if this solicitation had 1 line item, you could award that same line item to multiple vendors if you wanted to. You would just come in, you would click create, and you would select line item 1 for each vendor. If you're on approval path, it will go to your approver first before it's awarded, just like with solicitations. And the dates that you put on the award will differ depending on how it goes through the approval path, just like with solicitation. So if the approver approves before the award date, then it would be awarded on the award date that you selected. If they don't approve until after the award date, then it would be awarded on the date the approver approves. And if your approver is out of office and it is stuck on approval path, then your department admin can approve it for you. The buyer will receive an email when an award is submitted for approval, when the buyer is on an approval path and they create an award, when the contract is approved and awarded. This is only sent if the award is on approval path. When the award is released, when the first approver approves, if there are multiple approvers, when the approver rejects the award, and when the award is restaged. The vendor will receive an email when the buyer clicks create to create the solicitation, to create the award, then sends the vendor an email about compliance. That's that pop-up. So when you selected that pop-up, do you want to email the vendor about their compliance? That's the email that they get. They will also receive an email if they're awarded the contract. This only goes to the awarded vendor. Then the other vendors, they will receive an email notifying them that the contract is awarded to another vendor. That's it for awards. Now I'm going to go to the award itself. I'm going to show you some of the stuff on here. So the notice of award displays the award details. It's basically the award in a PDF format. Okay. Next is the award summary report. It displays who awarded it, the division, the history about the award, and this is important because it shows everything about the whole process from the solicitation to award. It shows the vendors, compliance statuses, etc. The HCE certificate at the time of award is automatically added to this PDF. So you will have that HCE certificate upon award, which is the most important one that you need. Some departments use this award summary report to cut the purchase order. The next button is the print HCE certificate. This will take you to HCE where you can print their certificate, but just keep in mind that this is their current vendor status. So it's not going to just show you the certificate upon award. That's what's going to be in the award summary report. This is going to be whatever it is at the time you click this to view their certificate. Reaward, we're going to discuss this in a little bit. I'm going to go over this whole functionality. Same with cancel and amend. We're going to do those next. Okay, so now I'm going to show you amending. You're going to need to select the amendment type. Contract extension should be selected if the contract has options to extend and the agency is exercising this option, or if you receive a CPO approval to extend the contract. Other should be selected for other amendment reasons, such as price changes, if permitted, adding attachments, adding comments, etc. Okay, so you're going to enter in the reason for the amendment. You'll be specific when documenting award amendments, particularly in regards to the price per unit and or quantity, if that's why you're doing the amendment. The award amendment reason is displayed to the vendor. I'm going to mention that even though the system allows you to edit the contract start date, you should not change this date. Okay, once you make the change that you're going to make, down at the bottom, you can click preview. It will have the original date here and it will have the amended date here. If you made any changes to the price, those would be listed here, and it would show you whatever the amended price is, and then you would click submit. If you're on an approval path, then the amendment will need to be approved by the approver before it is posted to the other users to see. Once the award goes on approval path, you cannot cancel the amendment. If there's a change and you need to make that after you submitted it on approval path, then you must contact your approver and have them reject it. Once it's rejected, it will go back to you, and then you can make the changes that are needed, and then you could submit it back for approval. The award summary report that we went over before will display all the amendments. The buyer will receive an email when a buyer amends the award, when a buyer's amended award is approved, when the first approver approves, if there are multiple approvers, and when an approver rejects an amended award. The vendor will receive an email when the award is amended. Note, only the awarded vendor will receive this email notification. Non-awarded vendors will not receive this email. And the approver will receive an email when the amendment is ready for approval. Next, I'm going to go over canceling an award. We'll go to the award. You would go to the bottom. Oh, no, I went to the solicitation, sorry. Go to the award. You would go to cancel award. This will cancel everything. You cannot award the solicitation after canceling the award. And you should only cancel if you do not intend to re-award the solicitation. And you must enter a reason for canceling. So when you click this, it will say, this does kind of warn you, because if you plan to reissue, you can't if you cancel it. So this is a way to kind of prevent you from doing that. So do you plan to reissue the award? No, I don't. Okay, great. Then what is your reason for canceling? And then you would put in your reason, and then you would click, yes, I do want to cancel it. And now it will say status canceled. Only the buyer will receive an email notifying them that the award has been canceled. Now I'm going to go over re-awarding. If you want to rescind the award from the original awardee, you will need to click the re-award button. Then the system will remove the original award so you can re-award to another vendor. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes. Now you can go to the offers tab, and then you could create the award again. The vendor will receive an email when the award is restaged. This email will only go out to the awarded vendor of the restaged award. The non-awarded vendors will not receive this email. Okay. Now I'm going to go over the out of office functionality. If you're going to be out of office and you want someone to monitor your solicitations while you are away, then you can set yourself out of office and select a buyer as a backup. This also goes to those of you who are approvers. So if you're going to be out of office, then you should set yourself out of office so then you have a backup. So any approvals that need to be approved while you're away can be approved by your backup. You would just come to your dashboard, you would select set my out of office backup. You would select the buyer that you want to be the backup, and then they will be your backup while you are away. If you forget to put yourself out of office, then you can contact your department admin and they can do it for you. Only buyers in your department will display as backup buyers. And the backup buyer will display as the buyer on the solicitation while you are away. Please note that approval paths are based on the buyer. So if your backup buyer is assigned approval path, then it will go through their approval path if they make any changes to your solicitations or awards. When you get back in office, you will put yourself back in office and then you will display as the buyer again on your solicitations. So you'd come to your dashboard and you would click, I have returned to office. Now I'm going to show you the requester role. A requester can request a solicitation. If a request is submitted, it will go out to all the buyers within the department that are marked to receive requests. Your department admin is the one that marks you to receive requests or not receive requests. So if you are receiving requests and you shouldn't be, then you can contact your department admin. This is what the requester dashboard looks like. If I wanted to create a new request, I would just click here. And then it looks just like the create solicitation form. The only difference is with requests, the requester doesn't have to fill in every single field. It's not mandatory. They could just fill out whatever they have information for, and then they would click send request. And when they send the request, then any buyers within the department that are selected to receive requests will receive an email notification saying that a request was sent. Then the buyer can go in, view the solicitation. If they want to move forward with it, then they can make any adjustments to any of the fields, make sure anything that is mandatory that is required as far as fields are all filled in, and then they can actually release it. The requester cannot release any solicitations. They can only request a solicitation. Okay, that is it for requesters. The last thing that I want to mention is that this is our training site. So if you would like to have access to the training site, then you would need to create an eHawaiiGov account for the training site. So you would come to the training site here, and then you would click sign up. And then you would put in your email information and your address and things of that nature. And then once you have that, then you would email us at HIePRO@hawaii.gov requesting access to the training site. And that is it. I think we should go over if there are any questions. We have about 10 minutes left.
Shannon, do you have, are there any questions? We have
about 11 or 12 questions, so I'm
Okay,
not sure if you want to go through them. They're all over the place, or if we want to answer them after. I'm not sure what you want to do.
Let's answer as many as we can, and once we hit the 11 o'clock mark, we'll be respectful of everyone's time and answer the remaining questions offline.
Okay. So let's start. I have, hold on. First question is, when a backup buyer is designated, can the original buyer still make changes to the solicitation?
So when you select the backup buyer, they're now the buyer of that solicitation. So if you needed to make changes, you would have them make those changes.
Bonnie, can an RFP be under 100,000?
Yes, there is no minimum or maximum on an RFP. So if you choose to do an RFP for under 100,000, That's your choice.
Okay. Megan, if you check the Make Public box, who exactly can see? Vendors who
Everybody.
made offers and other vendors, or what about the general public just searching and not a vendor?
Yeah, so anybody that can view that offers tab would be able to see those attachments. So it would be vendors, the vendor that, all vendors, not just the ones that submitted offers. It would be everybody. You're making it public to everybody.
Okay. Bonnie, for the optional instructions, do we state the requirements due to COVID, or do we state that at the start of the contract?
I'm not real sure what you mean by the COVID instructions. If there are instructions that they have to have masks or have to be vaccinated or show proof of something, then I would certainly put that as part of your general comment, so the vendor knows what he is going to be faced with if he needs to come into the office or if he has to do some kind of work for that particular agency.
Okay. Another question, Bonnie, is there any dollar amount or percentage of total threshold for an approved change order wherein you do not have to amend the award, or no matter what, even if it is only a $50 difference on a $99,000 contract, do we still need to amend the award?
You need to amend the award to account for all those dollars. So if you are doing, whatever the amendment is, your total dollar amount needs to match whatever you're paying out. Otherwise, you may not necessarily have to issue a amended contract or supplemental contract, but the dollar amounts will eventually need to match whatever the total output or the total expenditure.
Megan, can you give an example of how multiple awards of the same line item would work, in particular for the actual procurement of goods or services?
So when you go to the offers tab, and remember you see all of the vendors listed, and then you'll see the award column. You would just click create for that vendor, and then you would select the line item when you're creating the award, and then create the award. And then you would go to the next vendor, you would click create, you would select that line item again, so the same line item 1, let's say, then you would create that award. And then you would just keep going. Say you wanted to award 5 vendors the same line item, then again, you would go to the next one, click create, select line item 1, and create the award.
Keep in mind that multiple awards, you need to state in your solicitation that this solicitation will result in multiple awards for the same line item. Otherwise, the vendor will assume, or vendors will assume, that they will win everything. They will win the total amount.
Bonnie, do the vendors have to honor the pricing of the HIePRO and the extension and items on the HIePRO Excel sheet?
Normally, yes, unless there is documentation or language in your solicitation that allows for price adjustments.
Okay. Can you explain why we should not change the contract start date? Sometimes it takes a little while for our MOAs to get signed, and then we need to change the contract date. Is this not allowed?
Okay, so in the case where, in the example that Megan had, we were extending the contract due date. So in that situation, we would not change the start date, but there are situations where from the initial that you could change the original start date. But once the vendor has started work, well, you cannot change it to, how do I say this? It should not be changed once the work has already started. To make it earlier, because that would be again a material change that you're making. That, say, if you decide, I wanted to start 2 weeks earlier, that would be could be problematic. If another vendor would say, well, I could have started 2 weeks earlier if you had given me sufficient notice. But in this particular example, where there was just a contract extension, you would not have to change the start date. You're just extending the end date.
Bonnie, how many department admins can an agency have?
There can be only one primary administrator per department, but you can have multiple alternates. It would really just depend on, you know, the size of your department, the purpose of having multiple. Some of the larger departments may have, like airports, they could have one main and a couple of per division.
Megan, does the original awarded vendor receive any notification when the solicitation is reawarded to another vendor?
Yes. So if once you click the reaward button, they get a notification that their award was canceled. And then when you reaward to the next vendor, they're not going to get a notification that you reawarded to a different vendor. Just the new vendor will get an email saying they were awarded now.
Bonnie, I think this one is more towards you. Why would you need to create a new request?
It's not really creating a new request. So this is for those agencies that split duties, and someone will start a solicitation, the requester, but they don't have delegated authority to do an IFB or an RFP or a small purchase, but they can fill out some of the information. They may not also have the training. So it goes from the requester, the person that's filling in some of this information, and then go to the actual buyer, who's now responsible for the solicitation, has delegated authority, has the training, and he or she will release that solicitation.
Okay. Any award over 25,000, do we have to add an instruction for a performance and payment bond?
If it requires a performance and payment bond, yes, you do.
Does the award summary take the place of a MOA if under 50,000, or do you also have to do a MOA?
So I'm assuming you mean MOA is a memorandum of agreement. So a memorandum of agreement just says this is what you're intending to do. So what we're looking at is that going to replace your contract or purchase order? It can, depending on what it is. Traditionally, we use small purchase contracts, which the AG's contract templates are available for that.
Please give an example of why you'd have to re-award.
So, well, Bonnie, I don't know if you want to add anything to this, but I mean, I have some examples. One example would be the original vendor is no longer going to do the work, and so you need to award to a different vendor. Then you would click reaward, so then that original vendor no longer has that award, and then you can award to another vendor.
Another time it would be if the vendor is not compliant and you've given him ample opportunity to become compliant. So you awarded, you thought you were going to get your vendor compliance. He did not. Then you would have to tell him that, I'm sorry, you've gotten ample opportunity. We're going to have to award to another compliant vendor. And talking about compliance, we've had situations from time to time where the vendor is not compliant in HIePRO, but he says, but I'm compliant in HCE, and he actually shows you the documents. So what we've done in the past is take a look at the vendors, and it shows that they have two different FEIN numbers or Social Security numbers, so they don't match. And that's why they're not compliant in one system and maybe compliant in another system. You cannot change his compliance status in HIePRO at the time that he is being awarded. You will have to tell him to go in and change his either his HIePRO profile or his HCE profile.
Okay, so Bonnie, we're just about time, but I do have multiple questions on this. Will the training be available? Will we receive credit for this training or documentation that we participated in this training? And if this recording will be posted on LMS as a replacement for the mandatory HIePRO training courses?
We have been recording this training and we will review the training, and if it is transmissible, then we will put it on the LMS. We also will give credit for anyone that's been attending this session. We have a copy of the attendees when you logged in and if you have left. So you will get credit for that. If this recording, again, is transmissible and we can upload it successfully, this will replace the previous HIePRO trainings. The trainings that are available on the SBL website under HIePRO are only highlights, little snippets. I think the longest one may only be 5 minutes, so that would not be a replacement for this mandatory training.
And we did copy all of those questions, so if there were any questions that did not get answered, we will make sure that we answer them after this training is completed.
Okay, one last thing that I need to show you. Let's see. Again, our dedicated email address is hiepro@ehawaii.gov. If you should have any questions regarding this training or any other HIePRO questions. I want to thank Megan at this time for diligently going through this entire process. I know that it took quite a while. I thank Stacy and Shannon for fielding questions, Ja for setting everything up, and ETS for monitoring this so that we make sure that we keep on track. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful holiday season and talk to you soon. Aloha.